Boo! At the open, all-time high for the S&P 500.
It's your boy Jimmy. Jimmy.
Now, what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil, doesn't make up happen.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning, I wanna turn on this. Becky quick. While the average man looking at this sad like she fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5'6". I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want to stop it. I know that booty got dry, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's from pushing hot strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounce. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottom. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, grow with the marijuana. Waking up with the fun, open up some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and die. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETFs, making profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, pull the trigger, and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. and I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them cans, make profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETF. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? Hey, make profits. Hey, Suge, Mike, what we doing? Hey, make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? Hey, make profits. That TTG money gang, making profits. We some snipers.
Hey yo, what's up everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. My name is Michael Edward Parinati. I go by Michael Edward, and I'm the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group. Bear with me, I've lost my voice. My throat is quite coarse. But if you're wondering why you're here and why I should listen to anything it is that we discuss on this channel, it's not because I believe that I'm the world's greatest trader, folks. I have, I worked on Wall Street. I began my trading career working at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City, first job right out of college. They had me go through a training program before they let me touch $1 of the fund's money. And then 2008 happened, the Great Recession, the big stock market crash. But that was also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. You fast forward now, and I'm the co-founder and head trader of TTG, along with my team of 8 other professional full-time trading mods and an over 30-person staff. We've helped thousands of members from all over the world to reach their goals. We have over 10,000 members in 114 different countries, truly a global community here at True Trading Group. We day trade, we swing trade. We also cover long-term investing. We trade stocks, options, crypto, and futures. Again, like I said, literally something for everyone here at True Trading Group. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, smash the like button, show some love, turn on your notifications. Make sure you guys never miss out on any of these live streams. I do these live streams 6 days a week. I share with you market insight, commentary, what I believe that the markets are going to do. I don't just talk about what happened. I talk about what I think is going to happen and how I plan on positioning myself accordingly. And this is a huge week. It's a huge week. And today was a huge day. Big day for the S&P, up over 3%. A big day for the NASDAQ, up just nearly 4%. And we've gapped above a massive level of resistance. If you were on my live stream last night, I was talking to you guys about this level of resistance at 575. And this was after we had news of some form of deal with the U.S. and China. We didn't know the details of it yet. And we were gapping up yesterday. We were up around 1.3, 1.4% on the S&P. We were up like 1.8, 1.9 on the NASDAQ. We doubled that. We doubled that. After we found out the details of what this deal was. And the deal was that the U.S. and China have agreed to lower the reciprocal tariffs down to 10% as they continue on with their negotiations. Now, lowering those tariffs down to 10%, the reciprocal tariffs down to 10%, is a huge deal. It's a huge deal because the 10% number is manageable. Okay, the 10% number definitely is manageable, and trade will continue between the two countries, and you're going to see activity and economic activity most likely pick up now in this month with those reciprocal tariffs being moved down to 10%. Everybody was kind of thinking that the tariffs would be lowered if the meeting went well, but nobody thought the tariffs would be lowered all the way down to 10%. There were rumors or whispers that the 145% tariff would drop to 80, maybe 50 or 60. But nobody really thought that number would drop all the way down to 10. And that's got the markets flying. We have regained all of the losses from the month of April. We have regained almost all of your losses from the month of March. We are now well far above where we were before Trump held up that sign and announced all the reciprocal tariffs. It's been one hell of a recovery. And now that we gapped above what used to be a big resistance level, we now have to start to look for that level to become support. And that leads us into a really interesting setup tomorrow. 8:30 a.m., we're going to get CPI data. That's going to be the inflation read. This is going to be a big deal because you have the potential makings, and I talked about this on the live stream yesterday, but you have the potential making for a short squeeze. Hedge funds came into this pretty heavily short. A trader on the JP Morgan desk put a note out last week that said, if you get a positive news cycle over the next couple of weeks, you could see a short squeeze to 5,800, maybe even 6,000. Well, we got to 5,800. And 6,000 is still a ways away. And I think that that's probably a little too optimistic. And I don't think valuations would make a whole lot of sense up at 6,000. But you have the possibility of a short squeeze if the CPI number tomorrow is lighter than expected. You are going to need, in order for the markets to really continue to move higher, you're going to need to be able, the markets or investors are going to need to be able to believe that the level of growth that we're going to experience in 25 and 26 is high enough to justify a trailing PE of 25 or 26 times on the S&P, a forward PE of 22 times on the S&P, because that's where we were up at all-time highs in January and February. January and February, we were and those are very, very expensive valuations, historically speaking. 25, 26 trailing PE, 22 forward PE. Those are expensive valuations for the S&P and are far above the average and the norm. So the closer that we get back to 6,000, the higher those valuations get stretched. And the economy, although obviously not in as bad of a position as people were feared in early April, it has slowed. It has slowed. So I don't think that the valuation will make a whole lot of sense up there unless that growth were to accelerate. And the only way that growth is going to accelerate is if inflation comes down enough to where the Fed could actually begin cutting rates. Because what you've seen now is an interesting dynamic in the markets where you have this large gap up today. Okay. You have this large gap up today. But yields moved higher. And I think the reason why you're seeing yields move higher is because of the whole higher for longer scenario again. The Fed funds futures is now pricing in the first rate cut coming in September, when before this news with China, the first rate cut was supposed to come in, was thought to be coming in the summer around July. So the first rate cut has now been pushed back. I think it was Goldman Sachs today put out a note now that they believe that the first rate cut is not going to come until December on the back of this news with China and the tariffs getting lowered all the way down to 10%. That is why I think that you are seeing yields move higher, because that higher for longer. Okay. And what I think that we should be looking for is a scenario where if the CPI number tomorrow comes in under expectations, you got an ice cold CPI print last month, but that didn't factor in price pressures on tariffs. If you get a lighter than expected CPI number in the morning, I think that you can maybe start to see then the odds of an interest rate cut be moved forward a little bit. And I think that would help continue the market to the upside. You have to think of it also this way. If you're talking about a possible short squeeze, the gap up above this resistance level, if you're a hedge fund and you were short going into the weekend, and this is the news that you got dealt last night, and then this is what you were facing today, I wouldn't necessarily just rush and cover the positions here today. But if you get a lighter than expected CPI number tomorrow, that could do it. That could do it. And you can get something tomorrow that looks like this. Okay, you can get something tomorrow that looks like that. And I think it would be driven by nothing more than a short squeeze if the CPI number comes in lighter than expected. Now, if that CPI number comes in above expectations, comes in higher than expected, then I think you're going to drop back down and you're going to test this support level. And this support level currently is right around 575. It is going to be the 100 and 200-day moving average. I'll zoom in here. You guys can see this purple line and this yellow line. The purple line is the 100-day moving average. The yellow line is the 200-day moving average. And that, my friends, is going to be your support level. Prior to that, it was resistance back here in March. Prior to that, it was support here in January. And prior to that, it is the gap fill from election night. Okay. So there's your gap fill from election night. There's the bottom in January. Then it became resistance in March. And now you're gapping back above it. So we will look for this area to be support on any pullback in the SPY, and then see if we actually do have a catalyst that can give us that potential short squeeze. And we'll see if that trader from JP Morgan was correct about the thought process that if you get a positive news cycle over the next 2 weeks, you can look for a possible short squeeze of 5,800 to 6,000. Well, we already got to 5,800. So we have a little bit more room to go there if we are going to get that squeeze. Okay. If we are going to get that squeeze up there, I think you could. I think you can get into the 590s on the SPY. You know, I think getting up towards 6,000 on the S&P is a little bit of a stretch. But I do think it's possible. You know, I do. And I just got to give a big shout out and a big congratulations to all the members of True Trading Group that just stepped in there with me. You guys, I want you guys to, honestly, if you're not a member of True Trading Group, I came on this YouTube channel. This is why you got to subscribe and turn on your notifications. Make sure you don't miss out on these live streams. I came on this YouTube channel on April 6th. It was a Sunday evening. And the futures market was down about 5%. We had just fallen 10% the last 2 trading days on Thursday and Friday, April 3rd and April 4th. And we were down another 5.5% on that Sunday. That was going to mark a 15% decline in 3 days. And I came on this live stream that night in the face of a 5% down S&P futures. And I told everybody, and you don't have to take my word for it. Go back and watch the live stream. It's literally on this channel. It's from April 6th. Go back and watch it. And I told everybody that day that I'm going to be buying in my long-term portfolio the next morning, which was April 7th. And I said, if I wake up tomorrow morning, April 7th, and the SPY is in the 480s, I'm buying everything in my long-term portfolio. I said that on April 6th. What did we do? We stepped in. We bought NVIDIA and Microsoft and Meta and Amazon and Walmart and Uber and CrowdStrike and Palo Alto and Palantir and Kava and IGV, IBM, Broadcom, it's AVGO. I mean, we stepped in, Rubrik, RBRK. We stepped in and we bought everything. And the list goes on. I bought JP Morgan, I bought Goldman Sachs, Walmart, the list goes on. And I literally just dumped a bunch of money into the markets on that day. And I look like a genius right now. I do. I look like a genius right now, but it's not because I thought that was the low at the time. I didn't think that was the low at the time. I actually thought that was not the low at the time. Now you take a look and it starts to look pretty possible that is in fact the low. If we avoid a recession, which at this current situation, if this stays this way, I think it is possible, maybe even almost probable that we do avoid a recession if the tariffs do not actually go back on. And that's the key. The key is whether or not this 90-day pause between the U.S. and China, does that lead to a deal so that the tariffs never go back up? Does the 90-day pause with all these other countries that happened on April, what was that, the 9th? Yeah, April 9th. That 90-day pause, does that actually lead to a trade deal with the European Union, Canada, Mexico, Japan, etc.? If these pauses lead to deals, then I think you avoid the recession. But if you get into a situation where the 90-day pause is coming to an end and the U.S. and the European Union have not come to an agreement, the European Union gets ready to retaliate against the U.S., bringing their reciprocal tariffs back up if the deal does not go through, and then the European Union retaliates. If trade talks between the U.S. and China start to deteriorate and those tariffs go back up, then the markets will be right back down to where they were in April, and you'll be looking at the possibility of a recession. The reason why you haven't seen me come on this YouTube channel and really like plant my flag and stake a claim that yes, it's the low, no, it's not, yes, recession, no recession, is because I simply don't know the answer to the catalyst that will dictate that outcome. And it's impossible for you to know the catalyst. And that's why I think it's a fool's game for people right now that are trying to predict the future, because you don't know what's going to happen with the U.S. and China. You don't know what's going to happen with the U.S. and the European Union. And until we have answers on those things, you just have to be nimble. You have to be flexible. You You have to be open to the idea that something other than what you initially thought was going to happen could happen. Don't be stubborn, because when you're stubborn, that's how you start shorting the market at 5,400, and now you're staring at a 5,800 print, and you're getting your ass handed to you. Okay, trade with the cycle. Okay, there's a very active news cycle right now as we're going into all of these different trade negotiations. 2018, we saw U.S. and China go through trade negotiations. It was a very rocky road. One day meetings went great. The next day meetings went terrible. Markets go up, markets go down, and back and forth and tit for tat we went for several months. I would be very surprised if the U.S. and China just skate their way right to a trade deal without any bumps along the way. I'd be shocked if that were to be the case. There's a lot of topics that still need to be talked about and negotiated. At some point, I feel like someone's going to say no. At some point, there's going to be a news. Trump's going to say something about, they're not going to do what we want. So, I'm going to bring the tariffs back on if they don't start to play ball. And a comment like that will send the markets back to the downside. Threatening to put the tariffs back on China will bring the markets back to the downside. If China and U.S. actually stop communicating, if they stop negotiations and the tariffs go back on, the markets go down. Those are all very possible scenarios. So I don't, if I just go back and I look at what happened in 2018, I look at, okay, well, that's very possible if that could happen. So we have to just be nimble. We have to be flexible. We have to be prudent. Okay. Sorry, guys, my throat's killing me. But I want to give a big shout out to everyone that invested in their long-term portfolio with me on April 7th, because we're up 30, 40, 50, 75, 80, 100% on some of these positions that we bought. Actually, I don't think I have one that's up 100% yet. We have some that are up like 75, 80%. I don't know if any of the stocks I bought. I don't think any of the stocks I bought on April 7th are actually up 100%. I think the most is up like 80 something percent or somewhere along those lines. But it was a month and a week ago. Okay. And with this type of analysis and that type of guidance from myself and 8 other professional traders at True Trading Group is part of the reason why so many of our members are successful, why so many of our members are reaching their goals. I actually just shared on my X feed. We had another member today tell me that they have that they're going to be quitting their job. They have a 6-figure salary job. They're going to be quitting and they're going to be going full time. That's another full-time trader that was born through True Trading Group. And I shared it on my X feed. You guys can go check it out. On my X is at Mike Edward _TTG. Again, that's at Mike Edward _TTG. You guys can check me out there. This person, they've made like $13,000 or $14,000 in the last 8 trading days. They've been super consistent over a period of time now, and they're ready to walk away from their job and to do this full time. And I'm just so happy about it. I'm so happy to see so many members that are reaching and achieving those goals. And the reason for that is because a lot of our members are making money. It's plain and simple. Bottom line, that is the case. That's a truth. And not just because I say it's true. It's because our members say it is true. If you don't believe me, just watch this. Members. Okay? Members, do me a favor. Type the number 1 if you guys are making money and becoming better traders because of TTG. Go ahead and type the number 1 in chat. Type the number 1 if you guys are making money, if you're becoming better traders because of TTG. Very simple question. Type the number 1. If you're not a member and you're on this live stream, I want you to pay very close attention to how many people you see type the number 1. Because all these people that you're going to see type the number 1, these are your friends, your family members, your coworkers. If they can do this, then so can you. All of these people were once in your exact same shoes. They were on a live stream. They learned more on an hour live stream with me than they learned in the entire last year doing this on their own. And then now they're telling you that they're making money. They're not smarter than you, and they're sure as hell not luckier than you, and they don't have more time than you. 82% of our members have a full-time job. Okay? 82% have a full-time job. Okay? $82% of a full-time job. So if they can do this, then so can you. All right. Now, another big reason why so many of our members are able to be successful is because of the use of our AI tool. We have an award-winning AI tool, guys. It's called Mari. Now, I say this to you, not just talking to you from an owner of True Trading Group, but from one trader to another. I have tried every single AI trading assistant tool, whatever that's out there. The best one that I have used, the best one that I have found is TTG's AI, and it is Mari. And we're not the only ones that believe that. We actually received the Benzinga FinTech Award for Best AI Analysis Tool last year, 2024, and we're coming for that same award at the end of 2025. There's my business partner and I actually on stage at the Global FinTech Award ceremony, receiving that award for Best AI Analysis Tool. We have a data partnership agreement with the NASDAQ. We have a partnership with OpenAI. We have a partnership with TradingView. We have a partnership with Unusual Whales. There is a reason why all of these companies are partnering with True Trading Group. There is a reason why we received the Chairman's Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. It is because industry leaders are taking notice of what it is that we are doing, implementing AI into our platform to help our traders to make money. They see the results. We see the results. Our members see the results. And that is why we have a retention rate in the mid 70s and a refund rate that is less than 2.5%. Now, normally, we don't offer the AI tool with your membership. It is an additional fee. However, for the next 20 people until midnight tonight, or the next 20 people, I will allow you guys to have access to the AI tool in addition to everything else that comes with the TTG membership for 90 days for just $497. That is it. Instead of you paying $1,497, I will give it to you guys for $497 for the next 90 days. Our annual membership is usually a year long. Okay, so the annual membership is $1,497 with the AI. You guys can get it for 90 days for just $497. Okay, you're going to go through, this is what you're going to get included. Go to ttgoffer.com. Last 10 days are green thanks to TG AI. My boy David S. David S. has had 10 consecutive green days in a row thanks to our AI. That's incredible. Mari blows my mind, says Smooth Brain. If anybody else, any other members on here, okay, any other members on here that have had, good experiences with Mari, sound it off. Sound off in chat. What do you think about Mari? Has Mari helped you guys make money? Okay. Has Mari helped you guys make money? What do you guys think about it? You guys members, you guys can comment in chat right now. If you're not a member, pay attention. Go to ttgoffer.com. Okay. Everything on that page is included for 90 days. Our entire 22 course curriculum, which is a simplified and expanded upon version of what I learned working at the fund in New York. You're, of course, going to get the AI tool. You're going to get Benzinga Pro's real-time newsfeed. You're going to get TradingView's premium charting software, the Trade Ideas scanner, streams on our platform for you guys to use. Unusual options activity, options flow, dark pool data, short data, congressional trading data. All of this is included for no additional cost for the next 20 people that go to ttgoffer.com. You'll also get our video library that has over 1,000 hours of recordings covering different workshops from going over different topics. All part of your membership, $497 for the next 90 days. Now, the 90-day membership is just that. After 90 days, it just expires. There is no automatic renewal. There is no automatic upgrade to an annual membership. If you want to become an annual membership, you have to process that transaction yourself. And we will credit you what you've already paid towards TTG. So if you paid $497 for the 90 days, we will credit you that $497 and work a nice deal with you to get you guys signed up for the entire year. That's incredible. Limitless says, absolutely. I spoke to Mari over the weekend, helped develop a solid trading plan and that fits my trading style. And the AI helped generate checklists for me to make sure that I'm following my rules. Made a lot more than the cost. Mari saves so much time and provides the deep research feature. It is sick. Johnny Chase says it's a game changer. I love it. Absolutely love it. Well done, guys. If you have any questions at all, send us a text message. We're fully transparent. We're an open book. 1-888-621-2127. Again, that's 1-888-621-2127. Phone number is right down there at the bottom of your screen. Any questions at all, any problems signing up at checkout, text that number, 1-888-621-2127. Okay? Again, guys, that gets you the AI tool and everything else for 90 days. And then once you guys, if you do decide you want to become an annual member, you will unlock our double your money back guarantee. So how that works is the following. I believe so strongly in the platform that we've created and its ability to help you reach your goals that anyone that joins the annual membership, we give you a double your money back guarantee. So let's say, for example, let's just say you paid $1,000. Okay. Just make the math simple for the conversation. I ask, go through the courses, pass our quizzes, attend one study group. And if you still can't make enough winning trades with us to equal the $1,000 membership fee that you would pay, if you can't do that at least one time, then we're not just going to give you back what you paid to join the membership. We're going to give you back double. So we would literally send you back $2,000 for wasting your time. Now, I can do that because our refund rate is less than 2.5%. That's why I have no problem offering you guys double your money back. And our retention rate, members that stay with us, is well into the 70s. That's why I have no problem offering you guys double your money back. Plain and simple. ttgoffer.com. After today, the price will just be $1,497. You guys can join now for just $497 for 90 days. ttgoffer.com. Everything on that page is included. No additional costs, no upsell for any of those items. It's all included for $497. Send a text to 1-888-621-2127 if you guys have any questions at all. All right. All right. So let's get into, what we're thinking about for tomorrow. CPI day tomorrow. And I think it's going to really be an important one. The last CPI report we got was not that important. And the reason for that is because, first of all, we were in the middle of all the craziness with tariffs. And that's all anybody cared about was the tariffs that just came on Liberation Day and then the pause. That's all anybody cared about. And the other reason why the CPI report wasn't that important was because it kind of didn't matter because that report did not factor in any of the tariff price pressures. This report will factor in, some of those price pressures, not all of them, but some of them. So if you were to get another cold CPI number, the markets could have room to move higher and you can get the short squeeze. We're expecting 2.4% on the headline CPI number. That is exactly what it was last month. It was 2.4. If it comes in at 2.4, I think that we're fine. If it comes in 2.3, I think the market squeezes higher. The reason why I think the market squeezes higher is because a lot of hedge funds are short. And I think you're going to get yields pull back because I think the probability of the next Fed rate cut will actually move forward. And if the Fed rate cut moves forward with the positive news of the tariffs going down, that forces short covering. And it's actually interesting because the month of April, the opposite happened from what normally happens. What normally happens is retail gets wrong. Usually retail screws it up. Usually retail panics, they sell at the bottom and they buy in at the top. Well, in the month of April, retail, net, from the information that's published by the different brokerage firms, net, retail traders were buyers in the month of April. Hedge funds are the ones that sold. Hedge funds are the ones that went short. And now, I would not be surprised to see a short squeeze into the 590s on the SPY. And I'm telling you because this is a cause and effect for my trade ideas. If the CPI number is lighter than expected tomorrow, I'm going to be long early, and I'm going to stay long late. Because I think you have a possibility of, if the CPI number is light, a move higher in the pre-market and a slow crawl higher all day long in the S&P and in the NASDAQ. And that can take you back up towards the high 580s at least. And that could be the sign of a short squeeze. I think it's possible. CPI number comes in hot. Look out for 575, 574 target to the downside. That's how I'm going to be playing this. The stocks I'm going to be going after will be the usual. I will be looking at NVIDIA. I will be looking at Apple. I will be looking at Tesla. Some of the stocks that are the most impacted by the China news. I will be looking at those names. I will look for them to continue higher if their CPI number comes in lighter than expected, specifically Apple. I like Microsoft to continue higher. there's supposedly a new semiconductor deal that's going to be announced with the UAE. That could be, something for Nvidia. We also had news of Coinbase being added to the S&P 500. That stock's now 14% as you just broke out and cleared an inverse head and shoulders pattern that we've been watching here for the last week or so. There's your left shoulder. There's your right shoulder. There's your head. Here's the neckline. News of this being added. Okay, news of this being added to the S&P 500 has a clean break through that resistance level, and now you look for any pullback back towards 210 to be support. C Nation says, any members' thoughts on this group? C Nation, I'll do you a favor, brother. How about finding out if any of our members are actually making money? I'll do that. Members of TTG, we have C Nation wants to know if you guys have any thoughts on the group. Okay, let's do this. If you guys are making money, okay, if you guys are making money, all right, type the number 1 in chat right now. If you're making money with your trading group, if you guys are becoming better traders, type the number 1. C Nation, just pay attention. So C Nation, there you go. All right. There you go. So C Nation, hope that helps. And then also, guys, again, $10.97 is not the price for the annual membership with the AI. Okay. The price for the membership with the AI is $1,497. David S., I am talking to you specifically. Okay, I'm talking to you specifically. The price for the annual membership with the AI is $1,497, not $1,097. Okay, so David, that's you. Pete Rosenberg, congratulations. Had your second best day today. Well done. Great job, Pete. C Nation, was that helpful? I mean, I figure that's probably one of the best questions that, I figure that's probably one of the best questions that I could ask people. So C Nation, I hope that does help. So guys, again, you can go to ttgoffer.com. Anything that's on that page, you guys get included for $497 Sweet. Going to use the group over next week, and sure, I will end up joining. Yeah, C Nation, we look forward to having you part of the group. But C Nation, I will tell you this. If you wait till next week, I just want to be fully transparent. Don't want you to think I pulled a fast one over on you. Okay. If you wait till next week, it's going to be an annual membership for $1,497. C Nation, if you want, we're allowing the next 20 people that join before midnight tonight to do 90 days for $497. And if you like it and you decide after 90 days, you know what, I want to become an annual member, we'll credit you the $497 that you've already paid and get you set up then for the entire year. The 90 days will also give you access to our AI tool, which is an award-winning product. There's an award-winning AI tool that received the Benzinga FinTech Chairman's Award for Best AI Analysis Tool last year. Okay, you will have access to that as well as everything else that comes with our membership and with our platform. Okay, so again, it's ttgoffer.com. C Nation, if you're interested, I would suggest locking in the $497. So this way you can see how you like it before you commit to $1,497. But if you don't mind, then you can wait till next week and the price will be $1,497 for the whole year. You can join now for just $497. And after the 90 days, if you want, you can then become an annual member. You got to process the transaction yourself. There's no automatic upgrade. There's no automatic renewal. And we'll credit you the $497 that you already paid. Okay? Any questions at all, you guys can text us 1-888-621-2127. Again, that is 1-888-621-2127. All right? So there you guys have it, folks. All right? So let's wait and see what happens tomorrow with the CPI number. That's my plan. All right. It's really just going to be Apple, Tesla, Nvidia. And if we get a lighter than expected CPI number, if it's colder than expected, we're looking for the SPY to push into the high 580s throughout the day. We'll be long early. We'll stay long. If we get a hotter than expected CPI number, then look for the short back into the mid 570s as the rate cuts are going to be pushed even further out. And that's going to be something that the markets are not going to like. Okay. So my Teach Team members, I'll be live with you guys tomorrow morning. As always, we'll go over the watch list. I'll go over specific entry and exit points with you guys. After the CPI number comes out, we'll go through the analysis and we'll take it from there. All right. Again, folks, that is ttgoffer.com. You guys can send a text message with any questions, 1-888-621-2127. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Take care, everybody. Smash the like button, show some love, turn on your notifications, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Take care, guys.